Hi, welcome to BlindOwl Outdoors. We hope you enjoy our channel, and if possible, could you please join our Patreon page? We really need your help. It's been a long, hard road. Thank you.
Hi, welcome to BlindOwl Outdoors. Today my project is I'm going to try to salvage this old Eswing Hatchet. The leather handles rotted away. I'm here in the Philippines, and the moisture and humidity and everything is just too much for it. So I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do to it yet. First I'm going to grind it all down and get it back to metal, and then I have to figure something out for the handle. I'll be back in a moment. Well, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to try to grind off the head and the top part of the handle and see what that winds up with. Steel on the head's in really good shape. It's not pitted at all, so it should be pretty easy. The handle's going to be another story. I'll get back to you again. Well, it's about 15 or 20 minutes of grinding. The head looks pretty nice. Started to put a little edge on it. The handle part, I'm not sure. I can sand out, get a wire brush maybe. That looks pretty good. I think what I'll do is sand this down a little bit more and then put a coat of blue on that, and then try to rig up some sort of a handle. Now what I'm going to try to do is I've got some of this rust converter stuff. I thought maybe I'd put that on this area here where I can't get it very clean, and this will be under the handle. I'll put this rust converter on there, put a coat of that on there, and then I thought I'd try to wrap copper wire around the handle to give it some shape, and then after that I'll put a wrap of jute twine around it and see how that turns out. So now all I'm doing is I'm wrapping copper wire around the handle, and the idea of that is just to make it bigger around. And seeing how copper, I'll have that underneath. I don't have to worry about that rusting here. So I'll try to put 3 or 4 layers of that on there to beef the handle up, and we'll see how that winds up. So far the copper is beefing up the handle a little bit, but I need a lot more. I need to get it out about the same diameter as the butt plate, so I have to either get a lot more copper wire or figure something different out. So I ran out of thin copper wire. I found a chunk of Romax, looks like 16 or 18 gauge. I split open the casing and put a wrap of white around it. Now I'm going to put a wrap of black around it. It should be just about the right size, and then after that I'll put a coat of jute twine on it. This is what I wound up with so far. I wrapped the Romax around that, just about the right size. Now I thought I'd put a wrap or two of Gorilla Tape to smooth it out. And I'm going to grind the end down just a little bit so that it'll fit just right when I put the jute twine on. And after the jute twine, you soak it down in super glue. And you wind up with a really nice handle finish. So to do the jute wrap, you do it like a whipping. You make a loop to the end that you're going to finish on, which I'd rather have it down here, I think. And you leave a piece going straight out, this piece right here, and then you're just going to wrap around and around and then put it through the loop, pull your free end down to snug it all up. So to start it, we're just going to go, first I'm going to make a couple wraps around here to fill this gap up, I think. Something like that. Yeah, something like that. And I'll put the loop down. Just like that. And then just start wrapping around both of them. And then just keep working it around. And I'll come back when I get a little farther. Okay, this is what I've got so far. I've got it all wrapped up. It didn't turn out quite as nice as I hoped because of the way the wire was underneath there. There's a lot of high and low spots, so I think I'm going to have to fill in some of these spots here when I glue it, but we'll see how that works. So then what you do is you take your loose end that you just wrapped up, put it through your loop, snug it down, and if it's not too tight, hopefully you can pull that loop down a little bit. Here you go, pull the loop down just a little bit, see? And just get it underneath, at least get it underneath the edge. Usually you can't go very far, but there we go, that's pretty good. It's down to about here. That's not bad at all. So then what we'll do is we'll cut off both ends. Okay. And just try to make sure everything's as snug as you can get it, with as little space as possible. And then this part here, I don't know quite what I'm going to do with this here because the wire goes to here, and then from here down, I'm not having, the coil's not staying on there very nice. So what I think I'll probably have to do is put some glue on there or something, and then kind of wrap it around just to make it look nice. It won't be structural, it'll just be for looks. But that's really a nice size handle. It's a nice beefy handle. And then next step is we have to burn off the fuzz and then put some glue on. Next we'll use the torch here and just burn off all the fuzz off of the jute twine. This Burns-O-Matic butane torch sure is a handy little thing. Burn all the fuzz off real nice. That'll help the glue penetrate. And kind of wait till you get a nice even brown color on the jute twine, and that's probably good. Something like that. I just keep the torch moving so I don't burn anything. That's pretty good right there, I think. Okay, then what we do next is we just take some ordinary super glue. I've got Loctite super glue, professional liquid, pretty good stuff. I've also got some Ultra Gel Control super glue if I run out of this other stuff. And what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to take some little pieces here and force in these holes where I couldn't get a good wrap. I think that's what I'm going to do when I start gluing it. I don't know if that's going to work or not. Maybe not. I won't worry about it. Then all you do is get some super glue and just start pouring it on, and then just rub it in with your finger. Takes quite a bit. Want to saturate it. What this will do is give you a nice solid finish. There we go, that's a nice glob there. It also fixes the ends for you so that you don't have to worry about them fraying off. Probably use a rubber glove, it'd probably be easier. This just puts a big coat of super glue on your finger, but it's not that big a deal. Get some all over it. By the time my finger stuck to the label. Try to even it out and get it to soak in. Especially try to do it good on the ends. Keeps them from rolling down. But that's about all there is to it, just like that. Probably do this in a well-ventilated area. I can smell the fumes here. I'm outside in my screen house. It's pretty open, but I can still smell them pretty hard. In fact, it seems like it might be reacting with the Gorilla Glue a little bit. But then try to get all, you see any spots that are light colored, they're probably not as saturated, so just kind of work on those. See, I got a big coat on my finger here, but then I just let this dry for a few hours after I'm all done, and then it's ready to use. And what it gives you is a nice textured grip that seems to last for a long time. I've done this on a few of my knives already, and it turned out real nice. Yeah, it's looking pretty good. So this was just a nice easy way to salvage a old hatchet. The Eswing hatchets are fantastic. The leather stack handles just couldn't hold up to the moisture here in the Philippines, so you have to just find some alternative for it. So what I wound up doing is I mixed up some epoxy and I just put a coat on the tip over the duct tape and just put a little bit around the bottom. That should dry nice and clear if everything works right. I filled in a couple of gaps that I had, and I think that's going to work out real nice. So I would just like to thank everybody for taking the time to watch our videos, and I'd like you to please subscribe, click like, and share our videos if you could. And if you'd like to contact me, send me an email anytime at BlindOwl Outdoors at gmail.com, and I'd be happy to answer any of your questions or comments. And the reason I'm turning this, I'm just trying to keep the epoxy nice and even as it sets, so it doesn't get into a glob or a bubble. And that should be all we have. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.
Thanks for watching. Take care.